funny thing I think of if only a hurricane had come on 9/11. Remember, they didn't know how to use instruments, the terrorists. They took off in Boston, and they literally, after they took over the aircraft, they steered by line of sight. And it was that crystal clear September day.
Sure was.
And if it were only one of these weather days, history would have been rewritten.
In a quick follow-up to Aaron's video on weather modification, I just want to add something that our friend Mark James Levesque brought to my attention. I know it's been reported on before, and I may have even heard the claim, but I never actually went and looked into it myself. On the morning of 9/11, a rather large hurricane, Hurricane Aaron, was sitting off the coast of New York City. In the days leading up to 9/11, Aaron was on track and had been on track for a while to possibly hit New York. It had been a Category 3 the night before, on September 10th, when a sudden cold front moved in that dropped the temperature 10 degrees, and Aaron began to weaken, and that morning, that hurricane made a nearly 180-degree turn and went away. That's not the most bizarre thing, I don't even think. The most bizarre thing is watching the weather reports earlier that morning that occurred before the World Trade Center attacks.
And you might want to grab a sweater as you head out the door. It's chilly outside.
Heat on in the car as you walked out. Really one of the chilliest mornings we've had in quite a while, and it is 10 to 15 degrees cooler this morning than where you were and when you woke up and walked out the door yesterday.
And you'll see that we've got clear skies throughout much of the country, some showers in the northern plains, and wet weather down in Florida, where they'll be picking up as much as 7 inches of rain in parts of central and southern Florida. Partly cloudy skies in the Pacific Northwest. The heat continues in the desert Southwest. 106 in Phoenix. That's what's going on around the country.
Here's the satellite radar picture showing the rain that moved offshore thanks to the cold front. And that cold front, that's a true cold front. This day is going to be beautiful.
No problems except down in Florida, a little rain. Northeast, we'll see little rough seas along the New England coastline from that hurricane that's going away. Miles and miles of sunshine.
It is beautiful outside. Perfect September day with lots of sunshine. Oh, would you look at Washington, huh? I'm going outside today.
All is clear and all is fine with the world weather-wise.
Now notice how they first reported on Aaron before it became a hurricane at all, when it was just newly forming out in the ocean off the African coast.
What you see there is a big red blob which has come off the African coast and is starting to move out into the Atlantic. Clear here in the Atlantic, one major exception to talk about, and that is this wave. This one, I can tell you, has held together as far as the thunderstorm action with it, or what we call convection, better than any other tropical wave that we have seen so far this season.
If we were to just take this part of the tropics, not including the part that I'm staying in front of, we really don't have much to talk about until I move.
Not even a hurricane, and that's how excited they are about it. And here's what coverage of a hurricane normally looks like when it's off the eastern coast of the U.S.
I'll give you the latest statistics on this very impressive storm as we zero in on Gloria. This is the latest satellite photo, and you can see the top winds now are 135 miles per hour. There are the coordinate positions. The gusts go to 170. The storm is about 500 miles to the south and east of Cape Hatteras, North Carolina.
And that storm can take almost any track at this point.
And again, here's what magical weather fairies look like.
From that hurricane that's going away.
And oh, by the way, Aaron just so happened to be part of a weather experiment being run by NASA and NOAA between August 16th and September 24th, 2001, wherein they dropped multiple different instrument packages and assortments of sondes into the eye of the storm, part of which occurred the day before, on September 10th, right before the hurricane weakened and switched directions almost completely.
Let's hope that this isn't one we're going to be dealing with, say, about 8 to 10 days from now, because if it is, and it makes it all the way across, there's going to be some problems.
Rough seas still from the chop from that hurricane, but other than that, it's kind of quiet around the country. We like quiet. It's quiet. It's too quiet.
One funny thing I think of if only a hurricane had come on 9/11. And it was that crystal clear September day.
Sure was.
And if it were only one of these weather days, history would have been rewritten. And I think about that a lot.